If there were ever such movies that I say terrorized me as a child, it was The Grudge and The Ring. And while I'll be covering the latter in the future, the former is our topic of discussion. 2004's The Grudge was a remake of 2002's Ju-on The Grudge, which was a horror movie that was originally released in Japan. The remake is considered the inferior version, but it's the version I grew up watching, so it's what we're going to talk about today. Although I wouldn't mind covering the OG in the future. As with all of these movies, it's been a very long time since I've sat down and watched this, so grab some popcorn, maybe a friend or a loved one, and let's see what scares this movie has in store for us. Let's get into it. We start off with a series of texts on the screen. When someone dies in the grip of a powerful rage, a curse is born. This curse gathers in that place of death. Those who encounter it will be consumed by its fury. This is a little intense. What are we about to get ourselves into? We then cut to a man looking out over a balcony with a troubled look on his face. A woman wakes up from their bed, and I'm assuming this is his girlfriend or wife. He turns around with dread on his face as he eventually folds his body over the edge and falls to his death, ultimately killing himself. God damn, was my morning breath that bad? All I said was good morning. She looks terrified as she peeks over and sees him Peter Griffing on the pavement as bystanders are looking in awe and horror. Ironically, his name is Peter, or should I say was Peter. I feel like this deserved more of a frantic reaction than a slight gasp and a slow peek over the balcony. Your boy just blooped himself. A scream, a cry, a clutching of the pearls would have sufficed. Maybe it was a one-night stand and she didn't know him like that. Title card: riding bicycles. This is Yoko, not our main character, but we'll soon find that out. See, Yoko's a caretaker and is on her way to her client's house. She gets there and the place is a mess. And this lady is holding up a roll of tape with a razor blade attached to it. Maybe she should be on 24/7 watch. What the hell she got going on over here? This woman's name is Emma, by the way. Yoko lays Emma down and is on the phone talking to someone while picking up any loose trash she sees. While upstairs, can you guess what I'm about to say?
She hears a noise off in the distance?
She hears a noise off in the distance, yes. And goes to check it out. Double whammy. She enters a room and hears another creak. And instead of, I don't know, exiting this room, she decides to check it out even more. Although you realize later on in the movie that leaving isn't as easy as you think it is. More on that later. A door opens off to the side to reveal a small room. Oh, I remember this scene. She lights a lighter and looks up there but doesn't see anything. Although moments later we see someone staring behind her and... Oh, hi, Kayako. So nice to see you after all these years. Her and Samara from The Ring were big catalysts of me not being able to sleep at night. Or I guess I should say Sadako, who was the name of the original antagonist of Ringu, since The Ring was also a remake. The Grudge does a slightly better job of it, keeping the setting in Tokyo, therefore not needing to change Kayako's name. Oh yeah, and Yoko is super dead, by the way. RP Yoko. We then cut to our actual main character, Karen. Karen? Now I'm debating on calling you Buffy for the rest of the video. And her boyfriend, Doug. What the f are these names? No offense to any Dougs watching this video. I enjoyed the cartoon from the 90s, if that makes it any better. At first I thought Doug was trying to get out of Dodge, cause he's looking around nervously trying to make sure she's not awake. But no, these two are dating, and they're both exchange students studying abroad in Japan. That's actually pretty fire. I get to go on my dream vacation while studying for my career, and my shorty is with me. I'm on cloud 9 right now. These two get freaky real quick before class, and Buffy, yeah, I'm sticking with Buffy, heads into work. See, she works for the very same job as our very dead friend Yoko from earlier, a caretaker slash social worker type ordeal. Since Yoko isn't answering her phone because once again she's super dead, that case now belongs to Buffy here. Although unfortunately for you, Buffy, no vampires to slay, just vengeful spirits. Better luck next time. She makes her way around until she's finally able to find the house. After trying the doorbell a few times and knocking on the door with the strength of a feather, seriously, who's supposed to hear that? She lets herself in and the house is once again a mess. Now her boss Alex mentioned earlier that Emma's daughter-in-law doesn't work, so maybe she'll be there, but I don't think she comes around at all. She's nowhere to be found. Buffy walks in further and finds Emma clawing at the glass doors. The bed's covered in piss. Emma's malnourished and Buffy looks around like, damn, is this how you living? She lays her down and heads upstairs as she hears noises coming from the same room that Yoko got folded in earlier. This being our main character, you know she's not getting packed up this early. This time the closet is taped up, but Buffy can hear a cat coming from behind the door. She tears the tape off in case of a trapped animal, and she does find a cat and a little boy holding said cat, and he's also covered in bruises. Wow, that escalated quickly. Also, there's a book in here, but kind of not focused on that with the bleeding toddler in my closet. And like I said, there was an actual cat in here, and it hisses at Buffy and she falls backwards. Now, I'm not sure where he goes, but we cut to Buffy in the kitchen on the phone with Alex because of reasons, and she tells him to get there as soon as he can. While waiting, she decides to look at the book she found and finds some troubling images. Wait, that's our Humpty Dumpty from earlier. Does this house have something to do with him having a great fall? After this, Buffy is wondrously looking around until she finds the picture of the little boy and his family, with what seems to be the mother's face cut out. Cough, Kayako, cough, cough.
You're supposed to vocalize the cough, not say it.
Anyway, she communicates with the boy, asking him his name, and he replies, although in a very odd and robotic manner.
Toshio.
I mean, hey, for a ghost, at least he's polite. She's about to say something else, but the phone rings and it scares her. I was expecting her to look back up and for him to be gone, but nope, he's still there, staring into her soul. Someone named Susan is leaving a message to check on Emma as we see something hovering aggressively past the door. No matter how many times we see a shot like this in a horror movie, it always creeps me out. Why do the spirits do this? No one knows. How many times have they shot this type of scene in a horror movie over the years? Did they speed it up? Did they put an actor on a hoverboard? Put a dummy on one of those wheelie things we had back in gym class at elementary school? The world may never know, yet it still works. For me, at least. Buffy goes into the room, which also happens to be Emma as she's whispering to herself, and Emma looks over to her and says,
I just want her to
Now, after Emma says this, Buffy's like, you need to get some rest, and lays her back down. And you know what? I'll say it. Karen here, yeah, I'm using your real name, is a damn idiot. If the person I'm caretaking for hasn't said a single word to me since I've gotten here, and all of a sudden she says to me clear as day,
I just want her to leave me alone.
I would hear her out. Who's bothering you, Emma? What's happening? No, seriously, what's happening? There's a cloud of hair forming in the corner. Or it could just be a clump of daddy long legs. Yeah, crazily enough, if a bunch of daddy long legs are clumped together, it looks like a bunch of hair. So if you're ever out and about and it looks like someone's weave came out, look closer. It might be a group of daddy long legs. Unfortunately for these two, it's not our arachnid imposters. It's Kayako, looking like if Orochimaru was a Dementor. We hear that iconic noise that haunted my childhood, and the scene cuts to black. And we cut to a family, and Emma? Oh, this is a flashback. James, play the flashback music. What was that?
Sorry, hit the wrong button.
Never mind, it's ruined. If I'm not mistaken, this is when Emma and her family first moved in. The realtor is very enthusiastic about showing them this place. Emma disappears and Susan goes to look for her, and she ends up in the same room that Yoko got deaded, and where Buffy found Toshio. This time, however, Susan finds a little glass figurine of a cat. I fuck with cats. I used to hate them until I got one, and I was like, you're misunderstood, my feline friend.
What does this have to do with anything?
I'm choosing to be the bigger person and ignoring you. There's also cat drawings all over the wall as well. Susan finds Emma in a room staring at the ceiling with her face all twisted up. She's fixated on something in the corner, but won't say what. It seems that the spirits in this house have been bothering her since they moved in. But only Emma is here, so what happened to everyone else? Meanwhile, the realtor has found his way into the bathroom, making sure everything looks good for the family, and finds a clogged toilet. That's a little strange, but nothing some Arm& Hammer can't fix.
I honestly don't know how you reach 25,000 subscribers. Your jokes get worse every video.
Must have woke up earlier to drink it this morning, huh?
Drink what?
Haterade. Anyway, while he's getting the tub unclogged, the hand is seen grabbing the man before we see a face emerge and submerge back into the water. The realtor is gobsmacked, second time I'm using that word, just as Matthew comes in and says he'll take the place as their new home. Also, the other girl from earlier is Jennifer, Matthew's wife. We're staying in this flashback for a little while, so might as well establish their names. Later that night, Jennifer can't sleep and Matthew is knocked out. We also hear rumbling downstairs and Jennifer doesn't seem too bothered by it. In fact, she's nonchalant as fuck about the whole thing. Look at her, unbothered. This turned out to be Emma. But what the hell is she doing down there? Like, are you robbing yourself? Why does it sound like you're stealing things? Emma is slumped the next day because she was up all night rummaging through the kitchen. Maybe she randomly decided to bake a cake at 3 AM or something. Those things happen. We also learn that Yoko, Rip, has been Emma's helper since they moved in. Matthew seems pretty chill about this whole thing considering they moved for his job, but Jennifer not so much. I can understand her frustrations, but then again, I can't. Keep in mind, I'm very biased and would love to live in Japan, but she's not a fan of being in a country where 1, she doesn't speak the language, and 2, Matthew's old and senile mother is living with him. I have no comments.
I do.
Shut up before you get us in trouble. She promises to make it work for Matthew, but if things get worse, she'll tell the company that he works for they're heading back to the States and he doesn't care what they say. That's a good husband right there. We cut to Jennifer sniffing noodles.
What?
Yeah, no, she doesn't know what flavor noodles these are, so she pops the lid open and sniffs it. 2004, no Google Translate, so I feel her pain. I wouldn't know what any of this was either. I say we start testing the waters. Just buy shit and see what flavor it is when you get home. Whatever flavor you like best, memorize it, and boom, now you have a go-to when you go to the store. This? Someone has to buy this. You've committed a crime in a foreign country, Jennifer. She does end up buying it though, which is good. Gonna be an awkward conversation with your cashier though. Later on, Jennifer is enjoying a nap when footsteps can be heard and something is knocked over. Not the ramen. Jennifer comments saying if Emma wanted some, she should have just spoke up. But 1, those sounded like little footsteps, and 2, Emma, you need to start speaking up for yourself. That obviously wasn't you. Also 3, why does no one clean up around here? So Emma is like a serial snacker? Is this all her doing? She just eats stuff and when she's done with it, she throws it on the ground? Fair enough, she's not well, she doesn't know any better, but the rest of y'all do. There's just wrappers and garbage everywhere, and y'all are just like, yep, just a regular Tuesday. I hate all of you. So Jennifer follows those little footsteps I mentioned earlier, and oh, it's a kitty. This looks like the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Although I say that about all black cats, so what do I know? Sabrina, come get your cat.
Where would Sabrina the Teenage Witch be in this movie? Please tell me.
You're no fun. The cat runs upstairs and Jennifer follows after it. We see it eating something and 2 pairs of arms reach out to pick it up. Toshio, buddy, is that you? I've seen more of you than Kayako. Although the art of mystery, or whatever phrase I'm thinking of, my stupidity aside, Jennifer asks who's there and slowly makes her way upstairs. Toshio is just running around at this point. Toshio, what's with all the fucking zoomies all of a sudden? You knocked over my ramen and now you're just pitter-pattering around the house? Jennifer is very creeped out as she slowly walks into a room, but the camera doesn't follow her and the music ramps up and then the door shuts. Oh no, is Jennifer dead? Does Jennifer die? I literally don't remember any of this movie, besides a few key scenes. Hopefully I'm not about to get angry or very sad.
I call it sangry.
Matthew gets home from work and the house is still a mess, and he's confused, so I'm assuming it's not supposed to be a mess, but Jennifer was just walking around like everything was normal. He makes it upstairs to the room and Jennifer is unresponsive. She's gasping and wheezing for air. Matthew says he's gonna call an ambulance, but then we hear a hiss. Oh, it must be that cat again. That's not a cat. That's Toshio. Toshio, what are you doing? Not pretending to look alive this time, I see. Matthew is like, who the fuck are you? And Toshio just stands up and yells at him, and then a shadow appears. Is that your stand, Toshio? Are you a stand user? Toshio runs out of the room, and Jennifer arises and takes one last breath and then falls back down. Okay, so is she dead now? Matthew hears a noise above him, and we see Toshio as he yells one more time, and it cuts to black. I thought you ran outside. We're back with Buffy, and we see Alex has finally made his way to the house, and shit has gone from bad to worse to terrifying. Emma's dead.
Again, what?
And Buffy is in the corner staring off into the distance. What the hell happened that fast? Everyone's just dead in a matter of minutes. Well, years, technically.
Actually?
1 week? All of this happened in a span of a week or two? You mean to tell me the only people that are still alive that step foot into this house are Susan and Karen? What in the hell? The police and paramedics show up, and Buffy has been transported to the hospital while the detectives question Alex. They've already spoken to Matthew's employer, and he didn't show up for work today. What a surprise. He also tells the detectives about Buffy being a substitute and that Yoko is also missing. And she's also dead, but they don't know that yet. Are we noticing a pattern here? One of the detectives is listening to another voicemail from Susan, who is worried about Emma and just wants to know if she's okay. Well, Susan, are you sitting down? Also, the house phone is still missing, and Yoko was the last one with it. The detective hits a button to signal where it's at, and the sound comes from upstairs, naturally. They find the phone in the closet area, and I don't like where this is going. Both detectives head up to the attic and look around, and what do you know? It's not Yoko. It's Matthew and Jennifer. And oh my god, they've seen better days. They are very dead. And also they find a severed jaw on the ground. Ew. Also, that probably belongs to Yoko. I mean, if we're choosing who we get murdered by, I'd probably go with Toshio. All of Jennifer and Matthew's body parts are intact. Kayako got Yoko, and the only thing left is a jaw. We cut to Buffy in the hospital, who's finally awoken, and she has a visitor. Dude, so much has happened, I totally forgot you were in this movie. Doug, was it? Hi, Doug. So word around town is that Emma died in her sleep. But we all know something more sinister, check out my video before this, happened to her. I'm just surprised it took so long. They packed up Yoko, Matthew, and Jennifer before they even got to Emma. And Buffy is still alive. Although she's our final girl, so she's got what the French call plot armor.
I don't think that's just a French thing.
She knows something is wrong in that house. Detective Nakagawa shows up and wants to question Buffy further about some things. The main thing being the little Japanese boy she found in the house, aka Toshio, who she tells the detective his name and shows her a picture, and she confirms that's him. Takagawa looks puzzled. Buffy can sense something is wrong with that house, as most vampire slayers do.
This joke is getting old.
You're getting old.
Squidward.
Detective Nakagawa tells her about the bodies they found in the attic. They think that Matthew killed his wife and then killed himself. Good theory, if it wasn't wrong. But of course they don't know that, and you really shouldn't blame them. When it's a flesh and blood killer in these movies, the police are trash. I don't understand how they can be so stupid sometimes. But when it's a ghost, I mean, yeah, we know what's going on, but no sane cop is gonna suspect ghosts as a suspect at any point. As much as we would like them to. Also, can someone tell me what they said in this hallway? Apparently the copy I'm watching wasn't translated, but Karen picks up the photo of Toshio and his family, and she just says,
3 years ago.
so was that when the shit went down in this house? This house is very disturbing. I honestly don't know how anyone got any sleep in this place. But if I personally had to sleep there, I know it would make it a little easier.
What's that?
The sponsor of today's video, Manta Sleep.
Oh heck yeah, our first sponsor.
I've been struggling to fall asleep for the last 2 weeks. So imagine my pleasant surprise when Manta Sleep reached out to me to try one of their top rated sleeping masks. I personally got their Manta Silk Sleep Mask, and it has been a dream falling asleep every night. Here's me wearing the product right now. Oh, you thought you were getting a face reveal? Not today, plebeians. Jokes aside, none of this will be possible without you guys, so I thank you so much. Their masks offer a wide range of comfortability, from the adjustable eye cups to the premium touch and feel, and even eye coolers, which come in handy on those hot summer nights. Their 100% blackout sleep mask will do wonders when it comes to blocking out that annoying sunlight when you want to sleep in a little longer on your day off. They also have fantastic white noise machines that put me to sleep like a baby. I've gone from waking up feeling like I got no sleep to feeling rejuvenated. That's a big word for Elmo. And you can too. They have a wide variety, from weighted masks to masks with built-in Bluetooth speakers, and even masks for kids. Click my link down in the description below and use code GRIEVES to get 10% off at checkout. That's GRIEVES for 10% off at checkout. And thank you, Manta Sleep, for sponsoring today's video. Alright, back to the scares. We cut to Susan, which I'm guessing this is another flashback because this is the voicemail we've already heard. And the way this is set up, Susan's gonna die, isn't she? In fact, if I remember correctly, anyone who steps foot in that house is cursed for death, am I right? I already heard the croak in the background. I don't know why I'm asking stupid questions. So Kayako could just kill you anywhere, huh? I'm not even safe in my own damn job. Susan can feel that something is wrong and begins hilariously speed walking slash jogging slash running. She's wearing heels, so I'll cut her some slack. Either way, she makes it to the stairway, and I think I remember this scene. Let's find out, shall we? So she gets a phone call on her cell phone, and I wasn't an adult in the era of OG flip phones, but I definitely would have made one. Anyway, it's Matthew calling, and since we all know he's dead besides Susan, of course she picks it up. She's relieved to be hearing from him. Although when she picks it up, she hears the infamous croak, and that's not Matthew. That's not Matthew at all. It gets louder until the phone hangs up, and suddenly the lights from above start to flicker, and one by one they go off. We then see Kayako climbing up the stairs. Yeah, nah, dog, you got it. I was planning on moving back to the States anyway. Susan runs to the door, and Kayako grabs onto the lanyard attached to her phone. How the fuck did you get up here here so fast? Oh wait, she's a ghost. She probably just teleported. Good for her. Not good for Susan. We see her peeking out the door as she fades back into the darkness and it shuts. Susan books it, and she finds one of the night guards to help. Funnily enough, she tries her best to speak Japanese, but the whole time he speaks English. He goes to check it out, but he doesn't see anything. Susan's back in the room watching the security cams, by the way. Although something peculiar starts to happen.
Don't act like you've used that word on a regular basis.
Whose side are you on? Anyway, the lights start to flicker and Kayako appears once again. Although this time, she's a Heartless. Susan, being smart, gets the hell out of Dodge and into a taxi. Get it? Because a Dodge is a car, so is a taxi, with the phrases. You know, I'll just move on. Susan is on edge her entire way home, but I don't think she's scot-free, or Kayako-free. As she's in the elevator going up to her floor, we see Toshio, and Jesus boy, put some clothes on. Why is he naked? Did he die naked? Do we not get our clothes back in the afterlife if we die in the nude? Although his likeness is to a cat, and cats don't wear clothes, so it kind of makes sense. Also, him getting close to the window is a little funny. He's just staring through the glass like,
What you doing?
Susan gets to her floor and makes her way to her apartment. I feel bad for her, honestly. Her entire family is dead and she won't even know until she dies. Yeah, she's definitely gonna die, without even knowing if her mom was okay or not. Sad day for the unemployed. This is a nice ass apartment, by the way. While sitting on her couch, her phone starts to ring. Remember house phones? I still remember our old number too. And when she picks it up,
Hello?
Hey, it's me.
oh shit, that's scary. They can mimic voices. It's never a good thing when they can mimic voices. My worst fear is picking up the phone and something is mimicking someone I love after I'd already killed them. She doesn't know he's dead and has no reason to suspect an angry ghost is on the other side of that phone. She buzzes him into the building and even tells him her apartment number. Literal seconds later, the doorbell rings. Okay, Kayako, Toshio, I don't want to criticize your methods, but that is way too fast to be believable. She's not on the second floor, she's on the 16th. And even if she was on the second floor, that's still too fast. She just hung up the phone. Mind you, he said he was downstairs, not outside. She looks through the peephole and, oh shit, it's actually Matthew. Guess I was worried about nothing. Oh, he's gone. Fun. Okay, what are the extents of her powers? Because there's no way. That was way too convincing. Would have been even worse if he actually came in and then behind her back turned into Kayako. Or maybe I've just seen too many demon possession movies. Anyway, she starts to hear the croaking on the other side of the phone again. She throws it down and runs to her bed. Oh, Susan. It's too late now. She's already in your apartment. And in your bed. There's a meeting in your bedroom, Susan. So yeah, she gets pulled into the Shadow Realm and that concludes the story for this family. Although none of that explains what's going on with this guy. Maybe we'll find out soon. Also, RP Susan, Matthew, Jennifer, Emma, and of course my girl Yoko. Almost an hour in and we already got 5 bodies. Back with Doug. He's at work on his break and Kara stops by, freshly out the hospital. You can tell she's still shaken up by everything. His boss is pretty cool with him taking off the rest of the day and they head out. Also, earlier, Karen said she was working with the care agency for a credit. Imagine going through all of this for a damn credit. Karen is out of it and Doug is worried. She explains to him that she thinks she saw something in that house just as Kayako appears in the window. This is such an unfair curse. No one can ever step a single toe into this house or they're cursed for death. I get it, Kayako, you're angry, but come on. Is there a main character discount? Can I just be off the hook? I don't plan on going back if that means anything. Later on, we cut to Karen in the shower. Not like that, you perverts. Although I do remember this scene, only because they did a parody of it in Scary Movie 4. But while showering, she feels a hand in her hair. What type of freaky shit you on, Kayako? I thought you were trying to kill me, not seduce me. And then we cut to Alex. Oh no. Alex went into the house. Alex, no! As he's walking down the stairs, we briefly see Toshio in the corner, although when Alex looks over, he's gone. And then we see someone slow walking towards him. Not Kayako, but they have Kayako mannerisms. Wait, is that Yoko? Oh god. Okay, yeah, that is Yoko. Completely forgot they took her entire jaw. Don't know if this is better or worse than what Mary Shaw does to you. Alex screams and then we cut to Karen. Don't know if he's dead or not, but by the way it cuts, I'll just make an assumption. Anyway, Karen is looking up information on the murders that happened in the house 3 years ago. Kayako's husband and therefore Toshio's father was the one who drowned him in a bathtub. He also murdered Kayako and then hung himself. Also fucking grammar police in the comments, I got it. If you're self-deleting in its past tense, you would say he/she/they or them, we're all inclusive here, hung themselves. Or most likely you would use it for an inanimate object, like I hung the picture up on the wall. The family from Sinister was hang, used for if someone is murdered/executed. The main point was less of the choice of wording, more so an entire family was murdered. But they used the word hung in the article, so I'm gonna use it as well. Sue me. Thank you for coming to my literature class. There will be a test on this later. We also see an article of our boy Peter, you'll remember him from earlier, the one that yeeted himself off the building. We check back in with Detective Takagawa, who's watching footage of when that night guard went to go check that room for Susan earlier. We see Kayako emerging from the darkness once again. Also, I don't like how she's walking towards the camera. It's genuinely freaking me out. I was halfway expecting her to come through the screen, but that's more so Sadako's thing, so respect for not stealing someone else's swag, Kayako. She does get all up in the camera though. That's the only thing we can see through the darkness is her eyes. The croaking sound can be heard, but then the footage cuts. Detective Takagawa is understandably disturbed. Back with Karen and Doug, she gives him a kiss on the forehead while he's sleeping and writes him a note saying she's heading out. Oh, it's where Peter had his great fall. Totally forgot that his wife, that was his wife by the way, is still alive because she's never been into the house. Karen tells her she wants to ask her questions about her husband. Karen asks her if she knew a woman named Kayako, but she says no. She tells Karen she's already talked to police and even hired a PI and she never got any answers. She has no idea why her husband did what he did. But after Karen's pleading, she shows her all of his pictures and stuff from school since he was a professor. And almost Almost immediately, Karen notices something. Kayako in every single picture. Someone's got a little obsession. We then cut to a flashback with Peter in school. One of the other professors hands him some mail.
Another one, huh?
We then see Peter pull out countless letters that are from the same person. And once we see Peter walk up to a certain house, we can realize it's Kayako. He gets there and he only finds Toshio. You can tell the abuse he's endured is taking a huge toll on him. He's silent, limp, and he flinches when Peter tries to check his forehead. We see that same photo of the family with Kayako's face torn out. Cat noises can be heard because you can't have Toshio in a scene without it. Peter goes to check out the window and for some reason Toshio does this. Oh wait, is he already dead at this point? We check back with Karen in present day and she's visiting Detective Takagawa. She tells him how Kayako and Peter's story might be connected. He had only committed just the morning after she was murdered. Takagawa doesn't believe that Peter killed himself, and Karen asks what he means by that. We find out that 3 years ago when 3 of his friends/colleagues went to go investigate the murders in the house, 2 mysteriously died and 1 disappeared without a trace. I think for him, and maybe even Karen too, they believe the house killed them. The detective starts to recite the same words we saw on screen at the beginning of the movie and then walks away. That answered nothing and he's gone. Later that night we see Takagawa looking at old pictures of his friends that disappeared, and he decides to do something that will lead to his demise.
He forgot the secret sauce.
What? No! He heads over to the cursed house and plans to light it on fire, which is a good idea until he decides to investigate a strange noise. It sounds like someone's being drowned. Takagawa goes into the bathroom where the noise is coming from and we see Toshio slumped over the tub. Takagawa freaks out and grabs the boy and tries to wake him up, but then suddenly his eyes shoot open. Then we see Toshio's father coming from behind him and starts to drown him in the tub. Okay, number 1, why the fuck did you not just do what you came here to do? Fuck who's in here? Like, yeah, I can understand since he's a cop, he wants to make sure no one is in here before he lights his place ablaze. That way you're not an accessory to murder. But then again, I would have just thought it was the house fucking with me. Number 2, he's seen Toshio before. He knows what he looks like. I guess since it's dark, he wouldn't realize he's trying to save a kid who's been dead for 3 years, therefore not recognizing him. But I still feel like there's enough light in this room for him to see. Well, RP my boy Takagawa. And the next few scenes to occur really piss me off. So we cut to Karen, who's finally home. Damn, it's nighttime? Where else did you go besides Peter's place in the police department? She finds a voicemail from Doug saying he went to go look for her at that house. What? So apparently the care center called and said both Alex and Yoko are dead. Yoko we already knew, but I guess that scene did indicate that Alex was killed off screen. Now Doug was saying he was worried about her since she's been gone all day, which is fair, that's his girlfriend, but he says,
I found your research, and did you go to that house? I'm coming to find you.
Doug, don't piss me off. You could have stayed your lover boy ass at home and waited for her to get back. And even worse, we cut to Doug, who's already at the house and is making his way inside. Now you're gonna die. He calls for Karen out loud and then decides to call her phone. Why didn't you do this earlier? And Karen, where is your phone? Everyone in this situation is so dumb. We see a door slowly creak open behind Doug and then it cuts to Karen finally making it to the house. She heads upstairs and we hear someone on the phone. You'd assume it's Doug, but then she gets to the top of the stairs and the sun begins to rise out of nowhere. And we see Peter probably on the phone with his wife. She's being shown a flashback. He goes to check out Toshio, who's coloring. He makes an assumption that his mom is going to be home late today. We see Toshio look up at Karen as he can see her, but Peter can't. It does look as if he's starting to walk towards her way, but he just goes into another room. A specific room. It seems Kayako's husband had a passion for art. He's pretty good at it too. Peter finds even more photos with Kayako's face cut out of every single one of them. He also finds a journal. It's Kayako's, and come to find out, she was obsessed with Peter. Completely head over heels in love with him. We also get the only subtitles I've seen so far in this entire movie. Peter had no idea of this obsession, but his name is scattered across the entire book. And then a photo of him and his wife fall out, but she's cut out of the picture. And all there is Peter and Kayako off center beside him in the distance. I think I could piece together this puzzle, but let's watch it all play out first. Peter finds a door with all of the cut out Kayako faces and blood splotches all over it. You can also see flies around it as well. He opens it and it's that same closet we've been seeing all movie, the one that leads to the attic. He lifts up the panel covering the ceiling and Kayako's pale dead body falls out, her eyes staring right at Peter. Peter falls back terrified and he runs out the room in an attempt to get Toshio and leave out, but once he opens the door and goes inside, he backs out, face pale, and he runs out of the entire house. Karen is witnessing all of this, but during this entire scene we can hear a thump, a consistent thump, over and over again. Karen opens the door and oh wait, no, that's actually hilarious. Why is his tongue out like that? So yeah, Toshio is pushing his father's swinging body back and forth as he should, and then it all connects. Kayako's husband finds her journal and reads everything. Kayako unfortunately is there when he finds it, and in a fit of rage he murders her, snapping her neck. Toshio witnessing the entire thing. He then proceeds to drown the cat. Damn, what the cat do? And then Toshio in the same tub, and then he hides both their bodies in the walls of the house. During this, Doug finally makes an appearance in the same state that Jennifer was in earlier. Karen tries to drag his body out of the house, but Kayako has different plans. She catches up to them and our boy Doug is dead. Karen opens the door and I completely forgot about the scene, but let me show you. That shit scared the hell out of me as a kid. It brought back some terrifying memories. She grabs Doug, but it's too late at this point. She knocks over the gasoline that Takagawa had brought, RIP, and grabs Doug's lighter out of his pocket. Never been so thankful that someone is a smoker until now. She's about to set this bitch off, but Kayako grabs her hand as Doug's body is replaced with hers. She's able to throw it onto the ground, and the Fire Nation attacks. Kayako gets all up in Karen's face as we get a barrage of flashes as paramedics show up, police, the whole 9 yards. Karen is wheeled into an ambulance, and then it cuts to a detective we don't know. Now, before we end this, let me say I never understood this trope. The spirit showing the main character's trauma and why it became the way it did. I mean, you kind of feel bad for Kayako and her son. The dad was an abusive piece of shit, especially for how Toshio was looking, but even then I kind of feel bad for him. He was disturbed, and discovering that Kayako had an infatuation with another man was his breaking point. He snapped and took the entire family with him. But I wonder if she would have fell for another man if the man she was married to wasn't actively abusing her and her son. The part I don't understand is, why show this to Karen? To gain sympathy? To get her to understand? Fair, but one, Kayako was gonna kill Karen anyway, and two, you've already murdered countless people. I can't feel too bad for you, especially since you just murdered my boyfriend right in front of me. Like, yeah, let me give you the full picture of my tortured and demented soul before I kill you. Anyway, back to the detective. He's looking at a body which I believe is Doug's. That's only confirmed when we see a nurse walk in with a roughed up looking Karen, who they probably need to confirm the identity of the body. They leave her alone, and as she reaches for the body, it twitches, and we see long black hair appear, and Kayako's hand falls from under the sheets. But it switches back to Doug's hand. However, the camera pans, and we see Kayako right behind her. Karen slowly turns around, and it zooms into Kayako's face as we hear that croak one last time, and the movie cuts to black. And that, my friends, is 2004's The Grudge. I think burning down the house in another circumstance could have worked. Or maybe not, because now that I think about it, whenever we try to destroy the cursed object, it just gets worse. In my head, I think before the house completely burned down and Kayako was approaching Karen's face, she attached herself to her. That way her vengeful spirit would live on. Gotta say, that was a fun watch. There's still a lot of creepy imagery in this movie, and I still got scared a couple times, not gonna lie. There are some dumb moments, especially when it comes to some characters' decisions, but it's an early 2000s horror movie, so what do you expect? I'll have to check out the original one of these days. That croaking noise was also something that haunted my childhood as well. Just hearing it and my whole body would tense up, because I thought that was it. Kayako was coming after me. I would be dead. But I really enjoy revisiting this after so many years, and I'd say it holds up pretty well. Have you seen The Grudge? And better yet, have you watched the original? If so, let me know down in the comments below. If not, give this one a watch. I definitely had a good time with it. Shout out to Clemmy and Hunter Power 681 for being my most recent members. I appreciate you, for real. My name is Greaves, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!